Hello students, this is Usha from GK Jain High Secondary School. Today we are going to see the chapter Electromagnetic Induction and Alternating Current Part 7 in 12th Standard Physics. So today we are going to see about the LCR circuit. Already we have learned in the before session a pure inductor, a pure capacitor, a pure resistor connected with an AC circuit. By using those formulas we are going to derive the LCR circuit connected in series. And we are going to learn about the Q factor and the power factor. Electromagnetic induction and alternating current part 7. AC circuit containing a resistor, an inductor and a capacitor in series. Consider a circuit containing a resistor of resistance R, an inductor of inductance L and a capacitor of capacitance C connected across an alternating voltage source. The applied alternating voltage is given by the equation V is equal to Vm sin omega t. Let I be the current flowing through the circuit at that instant. As a result, the voltage is developed across R, L and C. So we know that voltage across R will be taken as VR, which is in phase with the current I. The voltage across L is VL, leads I by pi by 2, and voltage across C, Vc, lags I by pi by 2, which we all have seen in the before session. The phasor diagram is drawn with the current as the reference phasor. The current is represented by the phasor OI vector, VR by OA vector, VL by OB vector and VC by OC vector. Let the length of the phasors are OI is equal to IM, OA equal to IMR, OB is equal to IM into XL, OC is equal to IM into XC. So the circuit is either effectively inductive or capacitive or resistive, that depends on the value of VL or VC. Now assume that VL is greater than VC, so that net voltage drop across LC combination is VL minus VC, which is represented by a phasor AD vector. By applying the parallelogram law, the diagonal OE vector gives the resultant voltage V of VR and VL minus VC, and the length OE is equal to Vm. Therefore, Vm square is equal to VR square plus VL minus VC the whole square. Then Vm will be equal to square root of the value. Now you substitute for VR, VL and VC. So VR is equal to IMR. So we'll get IMR the whole square plus VL is equal to IMXL minus VC is equal to IMXC the whole square. IM is common in all the cases. So I square, when we take it out from the square root, I'll get it as IM. So IM into square root of R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. Or IM is equal to Vm divided by square root of R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. It can be written in the form as Im is equal to Vm divided by Z, where Z is equal to square root of R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. Z is called impedance of the circuit with reference to the effective opposition to the circuit current by the series RLC circuit. From phasor diagram, the phase angle between V and I is found out from the following relationship. So tan phi is equal to VL minus VC divided by VR. Substituting the value and cancelling IM on all the cases, we'll get it as XL minus XC divided by R. Then the special cases. If XL is greater than XC, XL minus XC is positive and the phase angle phi is also positive. It means that the applied voltage leads the current by phi. The circuit is inductive. So V is equal to Vm sin omega t, I is equal to Im sin omega t minus phi. If XL is less than XC, XL minus XC is negative and phi is also negative. So the current leads voltage by phi and the circuit is capacitive. So V is equal to Vm sin omega t, I is equal to Im sin omega t plus phi. If XL is equal to XC, phi is 0. Therefore, the current and voltage are the same phase and the circuit is resistive. So V is equal to Vm sin omega t, I is equal to Im sin omega t. Next we'll go to resonance in series RLC circuit. When the frequency of the applied source omega R is equal to the natural frequency 1 by square root of LC of the RLC circuit, the current in the circuit reaches its maximum value. Then the circuit is said to be electrically resonance. The frequency at which resonance takes place is called resonance frequency. Resonance angular frequency omega R is equal to 1 by square root of LC, or FR is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of LC. At series resonance, omega R is equal to 1 by square root of LC. If we square both the sides, we'll get omega R square is equal to 1 by LC. So, taking L to the left hand side and omega R to the right, so we'll get omega R L is equal to 1 by omega R C. This can be written as XL is equal to XC. This one is shown in the summary of result of AC circuit. So what is the XL value, XC value, the power factor, everything. So since XL and XC are frequency dependent, the resonant condition XL equal to XC can be achieved by varying the frequency of the applied voltage. Next, effect of series resonance. When the series resonance occurs, the impedance of the circuit is minimum and it is equal to the resistance of the circuit. As a result, the current in the circuit becomes maximum. So at resonance, the impedance is Z is equal to square root of R square plus XL minus XC the whole square, which is equal to R, because XL is equal to XC. So that value becomes 0. R square root will give you the value R. Therefore, the current in the circuit is Im is equal to Vm divided by square root of R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. Substituting the same value, we'll get Im is equal to Vm divided by R. The maximum current at series resonance is limited by the resistance of the circuit. For smaller resistance, large current with sharper curve is obtained and vice versa. Next, we'll go into the application of series RLC resonance circuit. RLC circuit have many applications like filter circuit, oscillators, voltage multipliers, etc. An important use of series RLC resonance circuit is in the tuning circuit of radio and TV system, which you are able to use by using the remote control in our TV. The signals from many broadcasting stations at different frequency are available in the air. To receive the signal of a particular station, tuning is done. The tuning is commonly achieved by varying capacitance of a parallel plate variable capacitor, thereby changing the resonant frequency of the circuit. When resonant frequency is nearly equal to the frequency of the signal of the particular station, the amplitude of the current in the circuit is maximum. Thus, the signal of that station alone is received. Quality factor, or it is also called as Q factor. The current in the series RLC circuit become maximum at resonance. Due to the increase in current, the voltage across L and C also increases. So, the magnification of voltage at series resonance is termed as Q factor. It is defined as a ratio of voltage across L or C to the applied voltage. Q factor is equal to voltage across L or C divided by applied voltage. At resonance, the circuit is purely resistive. Therefore, the applied voltage is equal to the voltage across R. So, Q factor is equal to Im XL divided by Im R. Im and Im will get cancelled, so we'll get XL divided by R. Q factor will be equal to, substituting for XL, omega R L divided by capital R. Q factor is equal to L divided by R into root of LC. By substituting omega R is equal to 1 by root of LC. Q factor is equal to 1 by R root of LC. The physical meaning is the Q factor indicate that the number of times the voltage across L or C is greater than the applied voltage at resonance. So, power in an AC circuit. Power of a circuit is defined as the rate of consumption of electrical energy in that circuit. It is given by the product of the voltage and current. In an AC circuit, the voltage and current varies continuously with the time. So, the alternating voltage and alternating current in the series RLC circuit at an instant are given by V is equal to Vm sin omega t and I is equal to Im sin omega t plus phi, where phi is the phasor angle between V and I. The instantaneous power is then written as P is equal to Vi. Substituting both the values, we'll get Vm Im sin omega t plus phi. Vm Im sin omega t plus phi. Sin A plus B formula, we can use it first. So we'll get Vm Im sin omega t into sin omega t cos phi minus cos omega t sin phi. Now you take the sin omega t inside the bracket, so we'll get it as P is equal to Vm Im into cos phi sin square omega t minus sin omega t cos omega t sin phi. Here the value of sin square omega t over a cycle of half and that of sin omega t cos omega t is 0. So the average power over a cycle P average is equal to Vm Im cos phi into 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 can be written as 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2. So which can be, now the average value becomes P average is equal to Vm divided by root 2 Im divided by root 2 into cos phi. Vm by root 2 is nothing but Vrms, Im divided by root 2 is Irms. So P average is equal to Vrms Irms cos phi, where Vrms Irms is called apparent power and cos phi is called as power factor. So it is known as the true power of the circuit. Next we will go into the special cases. For a purely resistive circuit, the phase angle between voltage and current is 0. So cos 0 value is 1. So P average is equal to Vrms Irms. If it is purely inductive or purely capacitive circuit, the phase angle will be plus or minus pi by 2. The cos pi by 2 value is 0, so P average will be equal to 0. For series RLC circuit, the phasor angle phi is equal to tan inverse of XL minus XC divided by R. So P average is equal to Vrms Irms into cos phi. For series RLC circuit as resonant, the phasor angle is 0 and cos phi is equal to 1. So we'll get P average is equal to Vrms Irms. Next is wattless current. Consider a AC circuit in which there is a phase angle of phi between Vrms and Irms and voltage is assumed to be leading the current by phi. Now Irms is resolved into two components. One is perpendicular component, another one is parallel component. Perpendicular component namely Irms cos phi along Vrms and Irms sin phi perpendicular to Vrms. So the component of current Irms cos phi which is in phase with the voltage is called active component. The power consumed by this circuit Vrms Irms cos phi, so that it is known as wattful current. The other component Irms sin phi which has a phasor angle of pi by 2 with the voltage is called reactive component. The component consumed is 0. It is also called as wattless current. So the current in an AC circuit is said to be wattless current if the power consumed by it is 0. The wattless current happen in a purely inductive or capacitive circuit. Next is power factor. There are various ways we can define the power factor. It may be given in terms of cos pi, or it can be given in terms of resistance divided by impedance, or we can give it as true power divided by my apparent power. So some example of power factors are given. If cos 0 is 1 for a pure resistive circuit, the phasor angle phi between voltage and current is 0. If it is going to be pi by 2, then power factor will be equal to 0 for a purely inductive or capacitive circuit because the phasor angle phi between voltage and current is plus or minus pi by 2. Power factor lies between 0 and 1 for a circuit having R, L and C is varying proportions. Advantages of AC over DC. The generation of AC is cheaper than that of the DC. When AC is supplied at higher voltage, the transmission losses are small compared to DC transmission. AC can easily be converted into DC with the help of rectifiers. Disadvantages of AC over DC. Alternating voltage cannot be used for certain applications, example charging of batteries, electroplating, electrical traction, etc. At high voltages, it is more dangerous to work with AC than DC. Hi students, you all have viewed the LCR circuit connected in series, and then you have learned about the power factor and the quality factor. Thank you students. Once again, we'll meet you in the next video.